Latency should be good. Mic check. Alright, yeah. Should be golden then. The only thing that's minorly annoying is the constant popping disconnect of my headphones to Bluetooth. I'm not exactly sure why my headphones keep doing that. It's only minorly annoying, so I can only hear every other beat of the song, but we'll just keep going anyway, I guess. Welcome to the Saturday night stream thing. We didn't do one last week, we're going to do one this week, but I don't really have a plan. So I'm just going to work on some stuff and read chat and talk to you guys. The first thing I want to work on is obviously the coolest thing I've ever printed, in my opinion. This is the Ryobian from Meeker. It is a remix of the Protean, I think is what it's called, by Flygonial. But yeah, it's a basically a Scorpion, but it's a NERF Blaster, and it is incredibly fun. The problem is the cage. Really, bro? Did I put you in backwards? I must have put it in backwards. The Flywheel cage, it does use the Ryobi batteries. The Flywheel cage in here really doesn't take well to, like 5S, I guess? Apparently I'm supposed to use, what is it, Valkyries is what Meeker used. Because right now this thing shoots like 50 feet per second, which is far too soft for what it should be doing. The Drill Scorpion, Quandale says. The Ryobi Blaster. I'm not gonna lie, I think this goes hard. This goes really hard. For some reason, this is one of my favorite things I've ever printed. It just works. I'm pretty happy about it. The new Nail Biters is Nightwolf Gaming and IRL via logs. Mike has checked. He's very sorry for about what he did. Hey, Walcom, how's your week been since last week? And last week, if you want to share, since we didn't see you last Saturday. It's been rough. It's whatever. We'll get through it. What grip is that? It's whatever the one Meeker has. These are all free on Thingiverse. The whole file system is. So, imagine being a father and you're working on something where you reach for a drill and you get your son's drill NERF blaster. How long until people complain about like this not having an orange barrel? I wonder. I really do. Did people talk about the Added Arts NERF Pro leaks? Kinda. I saw like a really grainy picture on the I haven't seen the video, but I saw it on Discord. The chat on screen is the old chat. Why? That's always my question, is why? Why is it not updating? Huh. Oh, no, it is. It is. It's updating. Okay. It's hard to read from this far away. It does not need an orange tip. It legit looks like a drill. That's my point, but I'm sure somebody would complain about it. It's on mobile better. Okay. It's bright lime green. Yeah, but, you know, somebody will complain because it shoots darts and it looks like a thingy. I don't know. But yeah, I gotta swap out the flywheel cage on this thing, which is gonna be incredibly annoying. Where? Oh, where? There we are. Some of them. I should have the actual screwdrivers, because this one's also missing half its bits. I might have to get up and look for a screwdriver. Yep, it does look like a Scorpion Maker. I believe that's intentional. There's supposed to be some elastic in the stock area. Kind of ties in right there and loops around, and that adds some springiness and locking-inness to the stock. But I don't have black. Like, I have green and blue. I don't have black elastic, so I haven't done it. I have purple as well. Not green. I have purple and blue. If I had green, that would work. The video title, so here's the drill. I work at Home Depot, and I think we should sell this. It really does go hard. I tried really, really hard to match up the color scheme the best I possibly could. I can, here's an actual Ryobi drill for comparison. I'm pretty pleased how it turned out. It's not the exact shade of green. The Ryobi has a bit more orange-yellow to it. And that's whatever. I think it worked pretty good. The trigger could be black. I didn't do that. It should have some more black on it. But I believe it was this. Yeah. So here's the stapler. And it doesn't have any black on it except for the trigger. And then I think it's the glue gun. One of these has a trigger that is gray, which is... I looked at a bunch of different of the Ryobi tools to try to figure out exactly how to get it. Make a Milwaukee next. I probably could, but... I mean, I have... This one is literally powered by Ryobi batteries. Like, that's not a joke. I can take the black battery, put it in there. This does scare me a little bit, but... It is pretty brutal. And you'd think for something that is that loud, it would fire better, and it doesn't. I also don't think I used thick enough wiring for this, but it's whatever. It's probably fine, maybe. The wiring in this thing is a little bit more annoying than I'd like it to be. Let me go grab my... I thought I had them over here. My screwdriver hex key things, Allen key. Check. I was wondering if anybody here would know how to fix a problem I had with the Event Force Max Striker, as a spring won't catch and so it won't stay primed. Have you taken it apart before? Most despicable man on earth? Or is that just a thing that started happening? Because that sounds like your catch broke. Nice one, yeah, boy. So, most of this is held together with 3D printed pins. We have to take apart, like, this entire blaster. It's only minorly annoying. I have a feeling we're going to see the It's a Drill thing a lot today. You got any tips for improving the feeding on the 25 round drums? Nerf drums are just kind of notorious for that, to be perfectly honest. I'm not sure. Like, the best thing you could probably do is oil them a bit. Oh, well, now we're already to the good bits. I think the cage is actually just held in by another pin. I've seen this drill blaster on Etsy. Is it difficult to build? I let Meeker use my my picture for advertising, if that's the one you're talking about. It should be Meeker on Etsy. On Etsy. Interesting. It has super glue all over it. I wonder what I did there. Is some... Like, it's not this exact one, is it? Bro, when's your Beyblade channel dropping? I'm uncertain about that one, because I have all the stuff and I haven't opened them yet, but it's a lot of work. I kind of want to. I don't even have art or anything for the channel. I want to start modding blasters, but I don't know where to start. Do you have any suggestions? I mean, if you literally don't know anything about blasters, start with something like a Night Finder or a Fire Strike, something easy to understand. The files, not the blaster. I thought the files were open. Like, I'm almost certain the files were free. They were on Thingiverse. I'm almost certain they are. They cost money? I'm almost certain. I don't even have my phone over here right now. Or, I guess it's in my pocket. I'm almost certain it's on, like, printables or something. Yeah. It's not an easy thing to search up, but yeah, I'm almost certain it is on printables. There's a remix of it available for purchase on Etsy. Can somebody link it? Is that possible? What is your favorite design for the Jolt? That would be the Scavenger one. If I have to choose an oh, cool. That no, it's a good thing I'm not using those motors again. That terminal broke off that motor. That usually happens because the wire isn't up to snuff. That's troublesome. Yeah, I did not use thick enough wiring for this. To be fair, though, the hardest part about this blaster is the wiring. It's only the 2 wires, really, but it's extremely annoying. I'll send the link, but the chat doesn't like it when I do that. Okay, I can check it on my phone. Where exactly did I put my soldering iron? There it is. Ugh. I don't think I have thicker wires. Yeah, Nixu. That's why I'm like going with the brand safe Ryobi, unless they want to try to get me on that one too. Best shotgun type blaster. We've gotten a lot of really good ones recently. The Ogre does a really good job shotgunning, and then we've also got the those things from the Radson XLs. That's also a really good blaster for shotgunning, because it's one-handed and you can get 3 shots per reload, and it fires pretty good. They're like 18 gauge, or not even 18 gauge. Where's the box? Like, they're okay. It's higher quality wire, but yeah, it's definitely like it's pretty thin, especially for this amount of power. But really, that only matters if I'm gonna do like if it stalls or something and I keep revving it. Are you going to do a video on the M249 saw anytime soon? Yeah, that'll be one of my next videos, Gabriel. Pretty sure it's working okay. Yeah, for some reason, apparently, I really want to have to use, what do you call them? Homely, member for the channel for 67 months. When I became a channel, trampolines were still called jumpolines. Is that a thing? Are they called jumpolines? Thank you very much, Homely. I appreciate it. I've met this man in real life. He is a giant. Okay, so for right now, I'm just going to unplug this. I got some shenanigans to do. Walcom, are you Flywheel guy? It depends, really. I do like Flywheels. I'm not gonna mince words there. But I don't know if I'm necessarily the Flywheel guy. I do like them, though. I'm more satisfied with, like, pump actions, I think. Wow, that is not coming off. When's the Blink review coming? As soon as they, I checked in with them earlier this week, they said it's still on hold. At this rate, I'm a little concerned it's going to be waiting a while. We can't do the video until they approve it, and they are waiting on new darts, as far as I know. Because like I said in my... I said in one of the live streams, the only problem with the Blink right now is that the darts it comes with, it just destroys them. It absolutely just crushes and shreds them into confetti. Some of them work, most of them don't. Otherwise, the blaster's super solid. So I'm just gonna have to wait until they update it. Confused where the blue-green came from, if this thing shoots... Like, I don't think I have blue-green short darts. What's your favorite Beyblade gem? I was a real big fan of Dynamite Battle and Burst. I liked all the gimmicks. And X doesn't have any of that yet. Trampoline is a brand trademark. They lost the trademark because it became a generic name for them. Interesting! I didn't know that, Willis! Thank you for sharing! Do you think somebody will make the B-cars work on the Mauler? If it hasn't already been done, I can do it. I've already done it to this. Somewhere I have the front of it. But yeah, Zach and I, it was real easy to take apart and put. Just literally the orange piece came off, and then I just put a little bit of glue in it and fit it on the barrel. That way it will snugly pull on and off, so you can put a B-car on it or put the original barrel back on. The Mauler's going to be the same way. I don't think it'll be that big of a deal. Do you play COD Warzone? No, I tried to get into Warzone. I definitely didn't like it, though. Good stuff. You planning to go to HVZ this year? I don't know. I honestly don't know what events, if any, I'll be going to. Peaky Pie asks, have I ever been to World of Warcraft? Yeah, I played, up until, like, the first, like, arena season in the Burning Crusade, and then I quit. I got bored, and I haven't been back. Boomer, enough people don't like me to the point where I don't really just want to interact with most of the community anymore. It's just not worth the heartache. And if they don't want me there, I don't really want to be there, so I'll just do my own thing. It's fine. Ugh. Pretty sure I have a stack of Valkyries in here. It's like the one motor I never use for anything. Is it Valkyries? I'm pretty sure it was Valkyries. These are all Michelle 2.0s. Wait, the community doesn't like you being there? Why? You seem like a genuinely likable guy. Well, not according to Reddit for the past 3-4 weeks. It's been really taxing, I'm not gonna lie. I'm trying to get over it, but constantly having everything I say taken out of context and posted on Reddit and getting tons of hate for it all over the internet, Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff. It's genuinely not fun. And it's most likely my fault. I'm not gonna blame anybody, but it just, I'm done. I don't really want to... There's no point in going to an event and having to constantly watch my back when I'm more than capable of just sitting here and doing my own thing. There's 2 added darts Valkyries. Wall, are you doing a review on the Zombie Corruptor? I want to, Wasteland. That's one of the reasons why I didn't finish the video on the other 2, was the Corruptor was already a thing. I've seen the Corruptor. When I have some pocket change, I will go pick one up, most likely. Alright, we got 2 cages here. Why do we have 2 cages here? This one genuinely looks a lot better. We'll probably go with this one. I forgot to remember what way the motors went. Ah! I'm an idiot. I was sitting here the entire time telling myself, remember the position of the motors, and then I didn't. Is the storm charge still valid in 2024? Of course it is. If you like the blaster, you can do pretty much anything with a flywheeler. There are cages to make it better and stuff like that. I wouldn't worry too much about it. Is it better to mod than a Strife? Not really. Have you seen Vile's mods? Yes, of course I did. Another reason I'm absolutely stupid. I'm very impressed with that. That is something I almost want to work on. I talked to him a little bit. I feel like that's worth doing a video on. Because that's genuinely impressive from him. Makes me feel like I'm completely out of touch with modding. I didn't think you could get a whole lot out of it. He did cut down the darts, but he said even with the original darts, he's getting like 170s. But yeah, Vile mods sorry. Vile mods got the Infinite to shoot about 190 FPS apparently. Which is insane. Where do I get the Strife X? I'm pretty sure it's gone, Quandale. I'm pretty sure it's gone and it's not coming back. Because it was an Amazon-only thing, and now I don't know where it is. I could be wrong. They could be waiting to relaunch it. I'm not entirely sure, but right now it doesn't look like the Strife X is anywhere. So if you had your heart set on a Strife X, you might have to buy one secondhand. Omnia or Strife X ass pizza. It's tough. The Omnia was such a letdown, but Dart Zone does have, what is it called? I think it starts with an M. They have a Flywheel Strife coming out. That's apparently like $40, $50. That will hopefully be good. Finally a pro Strife, like just a Strife. And if that's better than a Strife X, then boom, you got it. Recently found out the scavenger for cheap on eBay, and I wanted to know if they were aware of any common issues. I'm not aware of any common issues, Amon, but I'm also not the most plugged in when it comes to scavenger mods. Welcome. Did you recommend if we should pre-order the Blink before the review? I'm never going to tell you to pre-order anything, and to be fair, I do not get a kickback or anything. All NSI does with that link in my video description is track how many clicks and buys I get, which makes me look better to the company, which is super helpful if you want to go that route. But you do not have to pre-order anything. That being said, if you want to trust me, I have found in, I want to say 700-800 darts, 3 or 4 different people have touched this blaster now. Everybody has liked it. I have found no issues with it yet. I genuinely think it's a great blaster. If you need something you have to, like, you know, get up on the stock and be tactical and stuff with, this is not the blaster for you, but it is really compact. It feels really good in the hand. It fires good. You can freely drop mags. The mag is also very good. The rate of fire is more than good enough. All these things are adjustable. Power is adjustable. Fire rate is adjustable. And for 80 bucks, it's an absolute steal, in my opinion. It does seem a little bit more accurate than normal as well. There is no kind of stabilization in here. I think it's just a properly balanced and well-done flywheel cage. Assuming the later examples of this are the exact same as what I have here, even with Adventure Force Pro Darts, these blasters are incredibly good in my opinion. And for 80 bucks, it basically makes the Stripe X completely irrelevant. And Omnia didn't really stand a chance either, unfortunately. I genuinely think this is the best flywheeler you could buy right now that isn't brushless. That being said, again, if you don't want to trust me on that, that's your prerogative. That is fair. But I would also suggest probably never pre-ordering anything. Unless you think it's going to sell out. I mean, that's always possible. Something silly like that could happen. I would chop the stock off. Well, that's not only is that not a stock, that's where the battery is held. Is it better than the Mark III? Yes, yes, much better. If you could still get the Mark III for 30, 40 bucks, yeah, probably get a Mark III, because they're still very good and they can run off AA batteries. That being said, 80 bucks for the Blink is pretty good. I even would say the 100 bucks standard retail is fair for the Blink, but I think 80 bucks is a steal. I honestly think it's a really good thing. What is a brushless flywheeler? That is a flywheeler that uses brushless motors. That's things like the Pew Pew, the SBF, the FDL. Those are all brushless. You got any predictions for the rest of N series? Not right now. I'm honestly, like, the reason why I haven't finished the video on N series is because I'm really tired of N series already. I don't like it. It's not very good in my opinion, but that's, again, my opinion. That 200 FPS or 190 FPS Vial was getting, that's pretty cool. And it seemed like it was rather easy to do for them. I don't know. They told me they did dead space removal, and I'm not entirely sure what dead space they removed, but that is, I want to kind of work with them on maybe getting a video out on that, because that's pretty good. It seems like for very, very cheap, you can get a pretty high performance blaster. So that's always a good thing. If you can get, you know, decent distance, decent accuracy out of that blaster, I kind of feel like that would be worth picking up. I don't really see the point of the pinpoint. That is not a decent blaster in my opinion. It is $20, but it's also just not very good from what I've experienced anyway. I'll try to finish up the video. I like the agility. I think the agility is a pretty good deal. But, like, basically what Hasbro's doing is they're forcing everybody to rebuy all their darts again. And then, like, if you go to a battle or something like that, it's like... Honestly, I don't even know if that's an issue. I was going to say, well, everybody would have to get the same blasters and the same darts and everything like that. But now that I'm sitting here and thinking about it, I don't really think N-Series is much better than, like, a Villainator. I kind of hinted at that in my original video. So I'm uncertain. I'm definitely fatigued by N-Series already. And the rest of the line, the Strike Back or whatever, the pump action one, looks pretty cool. But, like the Storm Chaser or whatever it's called, that is just or the Shadow Storm or whatever they call it. There's so many blasters in that line. It's basically the same thing as Elite 2.0, just reshelled for a different dart. And it's kind of infuriating. Walcom, do you agree that Fortnite Nerf guns are the best Nerf guns? Booyah, I don't really think so. They're okay. I don't really play Fortnite. I played Fortnite back when it was in beta. And, I mean, they don't really seem to match the in-game silhouette all that well. You hit 10 years on YouTube. Love your vids. Well, thank you very much, Not a Panda. Yep, I've been here for over 10 years. Which is insane to think about, because it really doesn't feel like it's been that long. A third of my life has been on YouTube. Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to test this. Yeah, we've been talking about that, Vesic. Vile Mods did get the infinite hit to 190, and then didn't know if they were going to do a video on it, which is silly. They definitely need to do a video on it. What's the current project here? I'm changing out the flywheel cage on this Ryobi, which I dropped one of the flywheels earlier. Here it is. Because apparently I was using day brakes, and honestly I don't know if this is going to work. I was using day brakes with Krakens, and on the 5S motors, it did not like that. It fired like 50 FPS. I'm still wondering if I should use day brakes. I'm going to just try it. Screw it. Oh, cool. That one's slightly rubbing. Sure, that won't be a problem. At least not a problem for long, am I right? So that's with positive. There's a very not balanced. Hi, honey. Do you want me to mute it?
Where's the camera pointed?
It's pointed directly at me. They can't see you. Although you're very adorable. You look very cute with that shirt on.
Alright.
You want me to just mute it for a second?
Sure.
Sorry about that.
Love you.
She is very shy. I've been in the hobby for 10 years. Seriously, for 1.5 in the last 3/4 year, it's only gotten worse. Worse in what way, Captain? Remember when you didn't have a beard? I do remember. Dude, I don't get why the Fortnite Nerf guns aren't selling. Hannah, that's an interesting question. In my head, they're very... What's the word I'm looking for? They're basically the same thing we've been getting, only Fortnite themed. Which is a little frustrating. So, this positive is the one I need to look out for. I kind of wish Hasbro would do new things. They have done a couple of things, but every single time they do something neat with the Fortnite stuff, it's a little disappointing. There's so many cool things they could do with the line, and they just don't. The halftone hero is a hammer action smart AR6 shot, and that is kind of disappointing to me because I was almost hyped for that blaster. And then, like, I think, like, the Scar, the AR, looks pretty goofy. Maybe I'm the only one that thinks it looks goofy, but it's like they just don't really do it for me. The blasters I did like. I really like the heavy SR because it's hilarious. I like the 6-shooter. I think that's one of the best hammer shot derivatives we've ever gotten. What else? I mean, there is a couple of gems in that line. But it's a pretty middle, like, it's cool that it's Fortnite, but that's all it's really got going for it. Alright, well, hopefully this flywheel shatters and explodes in my face, but let's see what happens. Yeah. That's a lot of wind. Yeah, that's probably good enough. This thing isn't meant to be the best performing blaster ever. It is meant to be a functional dart blaster that is a Ryobi drill. I'm going to take that out before something stupid happens. I feel like Hasbro were a bit late to the Fortnite chapter because of Chapter 1. Yeah, that's how IP stuff goes. And apparently Hasbro takes 2 years to produce a blaster, so... what is the best Dart Zone blaster on the market right now? That's a Wasteland Destroyer. That's a great question. What is the best? I don't know why I have to think about this so hard, but... The Dictator's good. The Villainator, well, that's not Dart Zone Pro. That's just a Dart Zone. Audio's terrible? What happened? Is the audio bad? Cool. Audio's fine. Okay, I mean, it's not the best setup. I do apologize for that. I'm using a shotgun mic on the other side of the room. But I don't think it was bad. The audio is fine. You just have a bunch of people trying to cause fights in your chat. Well, that's per normal, I guess. It's my Wi-Fi. I mean... I'm having issues with my headphones popping in and out. I moved the Bluetooth wire receiver to here, and it's still popping out my headphones constantly. And that's not great, but it should still be okay, like, for you guys. It shouldn't affect you guys at all. I could swap to the wireless mics, but then I have to worry about those batteries dying. What brand of 3D printer would you recommend for someone learning about 3D printing? I think the go-to ones right now, if you can wait, like, you have the budget. I mean, the Bamboo Labs A1 and A1 Mini, you would probably prefer the A1, but the A1 Mini would be fine as well for most things. Those are usually, like, I think the Bamboo A1 is like $360. And that's really not that expensive for what you get. Like, you get way more bang for your buck with that printer. The issue is, like, if you don't know a lot about 3D printing, the cheap printers are going to cause you a headache. So, if you're worried about it, buy an expensive one. If you're just on a budget and you can't go, if you have a Micro Center near you, that's great. Because, oh no, I did the thing I didn't want to do. Put them on the wrong side. It should hopefully still work out, maybe? Micro Centers have Creality Ender 3s for like $100 all the time now. Dang it. I was worried about that. Hopefully that's fine. It's rubbing on the cage a little bit. I was supposed to put those wires on the other side, and I thought I did that. Might be able to glue them down and get away with it. The wire runs are, like, the most frustrating part about this build. Because, like, you have a mechanical pusher, and then you have wires you have to try to wrangle. Eh, we're probably fine. Is this a power drill blaster? It is, in fact. A good way of describing it. Hopefully it fires, because it wasn't doing so good last time. Walcom, what's a good bang for your buck soldering iron? That is a question that is very difficult for me to answer for a couple of reasons. I've bought and used a bunch of soldering irons over the course of my Nerf career. And the TS80 and TS100s, I would recommend the TS80, in my opinion. These are not the best, like, cheapest, but this is, like, the same soldering tip I've used for 3 years. The thing will run off a battery as long as you get a high discharge battery. I think it's the best. What filament is that again? Are you talking about the black or the green? It's Overture Grass Green is what I used. Why am I not seeing an appropriately sized... I have more pins than this. I'm almost certain of it. Oh, wait, no, this has a big pin that goes through it. That's right. Let's try that first and then back. There we go. Trying to guess which pins go where. Hey, Walcom, I sent you those pics of the Firefly Furnace I told you about. Yeah, if it's on my Instagram, yeah, I'll check them out. Can't really do it right now. But, yeah, I'll check them out. Thanks for sending them. I'm very curious to see how and what you did. Sky Pettits with the 249 public education failing me. It looks like polka dollars, to be perfectly honest. I don't know what currency is that. I apologize, Sky. What's the S on the 3S, 4S, 5S? Also, what's your favorite Elite 1.0 blaster? The 3S, 4S, and 5S is the number of cells in the battery. So, if you have 3S, that's 3 cells. I think each cell is like 3.7 volts, I think. I believe that's how that works. So if your motors are 3S, that means they're 11.1 volts per motor. So a 3S LiPo will have 3 cell packs in it. So 4S will be 14.8, and that will be 4 cell packs. If that makes sense. As for what's my favorite Elite 1.0 blaster, that's a really tough one. There's so many good ones. Honestly, it sucks. I'd probably just have to say the Strife for the pure reason that the Strife is just so moddable. That's what makes the Strife so good. And the reason why it's a lot of people's favorite blaster is because you can just do everything with the Strife. Like, is it overhyped? Yeah, to an extent, because there's a lot of blasters you can do a lot with. But if I had the proper blaster, the proper mod to it, this Infinus would be my favorite. Why can I not see that? Oh, it hasn't updated my thing. I can't read what that says. Why does that not update in OBS? I couldn't read what that donation was, or whatever it was. I'm really sorry. OBS still shows skies. It doesn't show that one. I don't know what's going on. The Hailfire is so underrated. Yeah, it is a good one. The Hailfire is definitely good. Can you please update the feed? Oh, that is so frustrating. I don't know what that was. Okay. Any special tool someone should have or get on hand when it comes to modding besides the solder? I would recommend a decent rotary tool. Doesn't have to be a Dremel, but a good rotary tool is pretty important. I feel like I'm missing a pin. Like, this one is not the right pin. It's bothering me. I don't know why it's bothering me, but it is bothering me. I guess I'll just have to use it because it's the only pin I see right now. I mean, it'll still hold the blaster together. Alright. So... you have some darts here. Left of the coda. My brain is mush. I apologize. Do you have a day job? I only do YouTube. I should do better at that, but yeah, I only do YouTube. It's because the user was banned. Was it a donation? I can't see it. It doesn't pop up in my feed. Rev Reaper Dremel. Hey, Commander Wolf Gaming. Nice to see you. Thanks for coming out. Okay. Please don't catch fire. This could be the most exciting firing demo ever. Okay. So that was awful, and it fired awful. It's dead. How did it just die? Never put all the screws back in your thing. I got one shot off, it went about 12 FPS, and then it completely just gave up. I'm guessing that I need better wire. Because I have a feeling that it blew off the second it got caught, it backfed. Daybreaks just might not be the way to go. Something definitely doesn't smell good. But I mean, that revved for like, what, a quarter of a second, if that? Well, those are still connected. Oh, wow, that motor is completely seized. How did that even happen? It melted to the, yeah, it's 2.5 here. So where did it, like, stop? That's the weird part. It blow off the micro switch? Yeah, it melted into that really good. And that motor is completely dead now. Daybreaks just might be too much. No, that motor's dead. That motor's super dead. I don't know if that's what caused the whole connection to go. But yeah, that motor got stuck and it is freely spinning. It melted, which probably is why it performed so terribly. I have tons of these motors. I'm not really super worried about it. But even if I touch this to this, well, it does technically move. Just not well. It is very wobbly, very bad. You think the daybreaks are just too much for it? I should use some other flywheels? I don't even know what other flywheels to use, to be honest. Because, like, this one moves how it should. It kind of, like, frictions into place, and this one's smooth and free spinning. Yeah, I'm wondering if I should just wait for this until I can get some thicker wire in. Because I'd like to use some, like, way thicker wire for this, since I'm dealing with so much current off that battery. That might not be necessary. Somebody smart in the chat could let me know, but if anything, at least that motor is dead. I can replace it. It's not a big deal. I think it just got stuck. How many cells? It's like a 5S, because it's like, what, 18 volt? Yeah, so it's basically like a 5S. And there's no 5S Nerf motor. Well, I can try different flywheels, and I can try different, or fix that one motor. Have a good night, Quandale. Just trying to fix my Ryobi blaster. Ooh, wow, that motor is very, very hot. Yeah, this is the Ryobi by Meeker. It's a remix of the Protean by Flygonial. I don't know. I feel like it could do it, because that definitely was the motor, like the flywheel getting stopped and melting to the side of the cage. That's not necessarily the blaster's fault there. Or the wiring's fault. Yeah, no kidding, Wagon Waifu. It's a good dad blaster. Okay, so this motor's still fine. This motor's dead. Or no. Yeah. This motor's dead. This motor's still fine. I'm just gonna try one more Valkyrie. Whatever happened with the Jank Blade? I have it. The last version, well, probably he's made a newer one now, but John's Jank Blade thing is hanging up on the wall. That's most likely what happened, Dizzy. Yeah, it's very thin. I don't know what gauge. It should probably say on the thing. It really doesn't say. It says 1200C. Or 200C, but doesn't say what the stuff actually is. Yeah, that's pretty dead. See a Scorpion look like a Ryobi power drill? Well, now you have! Is there another one hiding in here? Yep. Valkyrie. Yep, you are certifiably killed. You died in the line of... Why does this one feel dead too? What? Well, this is a brand new motor, so it has to be fine. Thoughts on apple ales like Angry Orchards or Reds? I like them a lot. More recently, they've been giving me heartburn, so I've kind of cooled off on ciders for the most part. But yeah, they're pretty good. N-Series seems promising, but I feel like it just be the same old designs with new darts. That's exactly what it looks like it's going to be, Booked Sam. Do you think N-Series will fade away like Ultra or stick as the main line? According to Hasbro, this is their future. N1 is their future. They are discontinuing all Elite style blasters and moving everything to the N1 dart. Review the Zinc 2.0 soon. First of all, it's not very polite to just demand people to do stuff. I would want to say you should probably not do that. At the same time, I've already done videos on the Moose Zincs, which are modified Zinc 2.0s. So, yeah. Why does this motor seem dead already? This one clicks into place. This one does not. Yeah, I feel like X-Shot and Dart Zone are in a really good place right now to just do a lot of damage to Nerf. Because if Nerf is going to abandon the 50 cal dart and Dart Zone and then come out with just better darts and better blasters and just fill that gap, what's the point of buying the N1 dart? It's definitely one of those things where Hasbro does, once again, was like extreme distance, extreme accuracy, extreme speed, but in reality, none of that's even mediocre, let alone extreme. Why are these so different? Why is that one just... That is so bizarre. This one feels like a Kraken. Maybe it is one. Maybe I accidentally put a Kraken back in. Ooh. Why is that so canted? I just can't win. Why is that so canted? Thank you, Too Nasty. I appreciate it. And one is for kids and Nerf Pros for teens and up. Links on the widen the divine and make a clear distinction between the two. Yeah, but the problem with that sentiment is that Zuru and Dart Zone already exist. Like, so the thing that leaves a bad taste in my mouth and what I'm worried about is Hasbro already tried, I don't know what the fallout was, but Hasbro has done a lot of really shady stuff to try to protect their market space. And one of them was that they were trying to change toy laws so that foam darts could only hit a certain velocity And the problem is that the cap that they chose was the exact cap of what Nerf Rival was doing. And that was really scummy, in my opinion. Like, that definitely doesn't bode well. I don't know what the fallout of that was. But, like, it's not like I want kids to get hurt or anything. Far from it. I definitely feel like Hasbro is way too safe. But, like, they act like it's a toy law reason. Yeah, this was a Kraken. How did I manage to do that? I'm going to change the flywheels to something less crushy. Yeah, like, Australia toy laws treat, like, foam dart blasters as firearms, which is insane, in my opinion. Huh. That one is definitely way higher up than this one. Why is that? I don't feel anything in there. You know what else would really skyrocket Nerf Blaster sales? A Nerf Fallout collab. I bet you they will maybe do it at some point. The problem is that every single one of these collabs has been pretty lackluster. I mean, I got grief because I liked the Destiny one, even though I didn't play Destiny. I liked the blaster. Just because it was so freaking huge, it felt really good to use, right? That's another reason why, like, one of my favorite blasters recently was the Heavy SR. Same reason. It's just huge, and it's fun. But a lot of people said it was a complete waste of money because it didn't fire very good. And I think that's totally fair. There's really no reason, especially with a blaster like that. I think I said something about it. But it's like, oh, it's for kids. Well, no, kids are not buying a $200 Destiny Yowler horn, you know, with their pocket money and taking it to the local Nerf for it. That's just not a thing. It's not a blaster meant for kids. And it feels really distant. I'm so tired of the, it's for kids, it's for kids, it's for kids. There's some person that has been going around leaving comments on every single one of my videos, which is weird, because they leave basically the same comment, but they write it every single time. And it's just telling me that I'm delusional and I'm insane, and they have just the most vile stuff, because it's a blaster for kids, so why am I getting worked up about it? But other companies make blasters for kids, and they're great. Why can't Nerf do that? What is the disconnect? Because if it's toy laws, then Zuru, X-Shot, Buzzbee have been, and Dart Zone, have been breaking toy laws for years. I don't get it. But if it's like Hasbro just pearl clutching, then they deserve everything that's coming to them. I don't want kids to get hurt, and genuinely wanted to be hopeful for N-Series. The problem is that excitement for N-Series ends the second I can't hit a target 20 feet away. That's not right. That's not okay. When I can grab a Villainator and do the exact same thing and hit it basically every single time, not pinpoint accurate, but good enough, I think Nerf is just, they're trying, it's all, because what happened with Nerf is that in the last 3, 4, 5 years, probably longer now that I think of it, their prices kept going up, and they took way less risks with any of their designs, and then at the same time, they put out blasters that were way more expensive than the competition and did far less. And I don't know how anybody could defend that, because you really can't. You honestly just can't. Now, I don't think N-Series is a bad deal at all. I think N-Series is a completely acceptably good deal. It's on par, in my opinion, with things like X-Shot and Dart Zone. I think they nailed that part. The blasters are definitely thinner. They're definitely not as robust. And the designs that I've seen so far, with the exception of the Infinite, are very much rehashing everything we've seen before. And the cynical part of me says that they're going to start N-Series off pretty cheap and efficient, and then they're going to jack the prices up. Because they've done it before. And they've done it with literally everything in all of their toy lines. And it bothers me because Nerf is one of those brands like Lego that transcends age. Everybody loves Nerf. They're the biggest of the foam dart blaster category. And the thing that hurts the most is that when Nerf does bad, everything does technically kind of bad. Right? I know Zuru's making money hand over fist right now. They are selling so many dart blasters. I know this for a fact. And it's disappointing because they still aren't as big as Nerf in terms of brand recognition. It could get there, but we're talking about something that's been around since the 70s. A name brand that's been around for decades upon decades. And now it sucks. And there's just little things that I don't get why they're doing that, and it seems like it's for law reasons. But then that doesn't coincide because all these other companies are putting out 100 FPS blasters that don't hurt, that are more accurate because they have better darts, and it's really frustrating. I want N-Series to succeed. I wanted N-Series to be this huge new rebirth of foam dart blasters, even if it was a new dart type, because at the end of the day, that helps my bottom line. And N-Series wasn't that. And now I don't know what to do. Because if we go for another 2-3 years of Nerf sucking, there won't be any Nerf YouTube channels. At least not ones that are, dedicated to full-time work. At least, I mean, I guess there's always going to be YouTube channels. That's not quite fair. But there will be less of them. Because it's already frustrating as a content creator as is, and now we're looking at another possible year before things get better. Zuru and Dart Zone don't have the blaster output that Hasbro has. And I understand that Hasbro has to have the high blaster output, and that means they're gonna reshell some things. But at the same time, why can't they reshell something and add stuff that people have been asking for? Like, little tiny improvements here then would be great. And they don't seem to even care about that. So the sentiment that it's like, oh, it's just a blaster for kids doesn't sit well with me, because these other companies can do blasters for kids, and they're way better. I also hate the fact that collab blasters are your Strife, Ravens, and random pump action hammer prime blasters that literally shoot 60 or so. It's exactly what it is. What's the bucket? Every single, now that you've seen what N-Series does, congratulations, you now know what the performance of every single N-Series blaster is going to be from here on out. Right? There's no surprises. There's no, this one hits 70, this one hits 80, this one hits 100. No, everything's going to be, 80 to 90 FPS. What blasters do you know but haven't reviewed yet? So many. I have so many. Oh. I don't know what these are. These are like worker serrated wheels. Those aren't very good. Those aren't even matching flywheels. Got some of these. They're pretty heavy flywheels. These are all small boy flywheels. I have more daybreaks. I just don't really want to use daybreaks. What are these brilliant white ones that are... What are these? I wish more flywheels had writing on them. Well, let's try these. What's the crush look like? It's pretty relaxed. Seems like everything's good. I'm a kid and I care about feet per second. But see, that's the thing. Kids are always going to want more. That's just a kid thing. And I get a lot of flack because I get excited when blasters hit super hard. And I'm aware of that. That's my fault. But it's also something that everybody seems to want. I'm not alone in that sentiment. People genuinely seem to want, you know, harder hitting blasters that are more accurate. That's not exclusive to me. But there is diminishing returns. I think I talked about the Sweetheart Storm. Like, that's a blaster I almost can't recommend to anybody. Is it the best? Certainly. It's definitely way better than anything I've ever used before. But it hits so hard. I believe it's rather difficult to swap out the springs and stuff on it, too. It's, like, to the point where, sure, it's a good blaster, better than anything else, but where are you going to use it? Like, how are you going to use it? I love the Ryobi blaster, except excited it's being worked on. Wanted to ask if you've seen the oil filter and strike attachment summer thing. Yeah, I've seen those. I haven't used them myself, but I know what you're talking about, especially the ones with the cans, like the soda cans and stuff like that. I think those are good. I want fun blasters. That's kind of the sentiment I have, too. That's why I like to see these, like, gimmicks, like fun gimmicks. Like, the Infinite has a legitimately fun gimmick. Trying to get that a little bit higher up, and it's not taking. It's also pretty canted. I don't know what's wrong with this flywheel cage. Maybe I should try the other flywheel cage. That's the thing. I don't like having supports inside my flywheel cage, but I think that's pretty much how you have to print them. Thank you for being a W streamer. Not quite sure what that means, Hillbilly Brothers, but thank you. What is my favorite blaster? My favorite blaster will and forever will be the Jolt. My favorite blaster currently, probably still the Awaken. I just really like that blaster. It fits me pretty good. I just wish there were more shotguns and without the stupid shells. Well, shells aren't inherently stupid. Shells do offer quite a bit. But, yeah, it would be nice to get a good break barrel or something again. Or barrel break. What will I do tomorrow? I'm not quite sure. I have videos I have to work on. I just haven't felt like working on them. There's a lot of blasters. I'm behind on a lot of things. Not gonna lie, this is the first time I've stepped in front of the camera in all week. Just haven't felt it. That just broke the cage. Why is this happening? It's so frustrating. Yep. I might have to just print out another cage? I'm not sure what the issue is. This is becoming more and more of a problem, too. I've noticed this. That was my issue with the M249, is that the cage itself, the motors, one of the motors isn't flat. And it's because we print the cages down with supports. I feel like there's a market for somebody to design cages that have built-in supports. Does anybody else have this problem, or is it just me? Okay, so I made the holes slightly bigger. As you do. That motor fits perfectly. And this motor fits also perfectly? Did that solve it? That might have solved it. No, this one is definitely lower. Well, might as well just give this a shot. I'm not looking for this thing to hit more than like 130, so... Machine cages used to be a norm. That's a great question. I mean, printed cages are one of those good enough things, but yeah, more recently I've been having this problem where it's like I can't get the motors even. What's your favorite 2024 NERF branded blaster so far? We haven't really had a whole lot of blasters in 2024. And I've reviewed even less of them at that. So far, it's a cross-up between the Infinite and the Mirage. I really liked the Mirage. I thought the Mirage was a great blaster. I wish I had a 3D printer that I could make the attachments. 3D printers aren't that inaccessible anymore. Do you know if the double stack, if I can double stack a double strike spring? I have no idea, Gabriel. Is it possible if the motorized Ragefire could have faster firepower? Maybe? Okay, yeah, that's definitely better than it was. I haven't modded one myself. I'm sure it's been done. Yeah, N-Series does have a lot of blasters, but... not so expensive 3D printer. It depends on what you mean by not so expensive. Printers aren't $500-600 unless you want them to be. You can get really good printers for like $200-300 now. Really good ones. And if you're brand new to 3D printing, I'm going to recommend you get a good one because you're going to have far less problems. Okay. Well, that one's useless. Oh, these are one-way trips. Okay, those are more even. The crush is whatever. The left one is definitely more balanced than the right one. But I just need this thing to fire foam darts. Better than it was, at least, because it was like 38 FPS. And it's like, how does Krakens with Daybreaks make 38 FPS? Get yourself a Prusa. I don't know if I'd recommend a Prusa now, especially over something like the Bamboo A1 series. I think those are far better bang for your buck. They don't use printed parts and stuff like that. You're not going to have to buy a $400 kit for one or, you know, build the... Honestly, building the printer yourself is actually a really good idea, just because you could watch a video and then you'll understand everything about the printer. But, yeah, the problem with getting, like, just recommending, like, an Ender 3 V3 Neo B2 or whatever the hell they call their new printers, I'm so tired of Creality, they really need a complete shift on that. is that, like, if something goes wrong, and it likely will because it's a cheap Chinese printer, it's very hard to diagnose and frustrating. The bamboo stuff is all closed, but they also are way more reliable and easy to fix. Bamboo A1 is the best printer for the money right now. That's kind of how I feel, too. I'm actually, like, I wish I had A1s over my carbon. Alright. I just want to see a foam dart come out at a reasonable velocity. It can lead gamer. As always with blasters, like, they can take a little bit more power than what they give out of the box. I put that on before I soldered it. However, the big however, is that the motors are usually not rated for more voltage. And then on top of that, they aren't going to have as high of a flywheel crush or anything like that. Hey, Thanos, it's been so long since I've seen you. It's a shame to hear you retired, but I hope you're moved on to bigger and better things. It has been very long, my friend. I hope you are doing well. Can I use my Ender 3 Pro V2 to print blasters? I don't see why not. Unless you know something I don't. So, positive at the front again. That should be... Yeah, that's good. What's a good 3D printer that doesn't take up a bunch of space? Again, one of those like bamboo A1s or A1 minis. The only issue I have with the A1 mini is that you could run into some size limitations printing some blasters, but most blasters are designed to be printed on pretty small print beds now. What do I think about Nerf shotguns? I love Nerf shotguns. Where'd that little sliver of green wire go? I lose it again. Interesting. If there's one thing I'm actually good at, it is losing stuff. I should go pro, honestly. It's insane how good I am at losing stuff. Because I only see the black wire. I do not see the green one. Oh, there it is. What Ryobi tool is? That was a, what do you call it? A staple gun. Doing great was in last week's chat, but it was over 15 minutes. I'm really sorry I didn't see you. Last week's chat was pretty brutal. But thank you very much for coming back in, giving me a second chance to see you. Glad to hear you're doing well. Getting a 3D print with a direct drive extruder. Table cam lost focus. Did it? I'm sorry, I'm not actually looking at the preview right now. Huh, it really did. I don't know why, but it did. Thank you for the heads up. This thing really doesn't want to be soldered anymore. Are you listening to the comments or reading them? I'm reading them. Obviously, if I'm not looking at the chat, I can't really comment much on the chat, but yeah, I am reading them. I might miss a couple. I'm trying not to. I have an Anycubic Viper. Need to get a buddy. I'm mostly finished every Common Raider set besides 3 belts. What blaster is that? This is the Ryobian, done by Meeker. And it is a remix of the Protean. And it's the files are completely free. They're on printables. I don't like these solder connections. Drill Strike sounds sick. It does sound sick. What is my favorite N-Strike blaster, like the originals? It's probably the Jolt, to be fair. How did I do that again? How? No way! I did that again. I'm gonna fix it, because it's a problem. I'm so talented. Man. Found a Kamen Rider vinyl figure at my local Goodwill for $5. Interesting. Do you have other hobbies? I do gunpla building, I play video games, really into Beyblade. I want to do a Beyblade channel, I just don't really know all that much about it, and it's also, you know, doubling my workload and really probably working for free for a half a year or so. I would definitely have to put less effort into them, and that's the thing, is like I don't want to put less effort into them. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it right kind of thing. I have most of the new Beyblade X stuff, and I haven't even taken them out of the box because I was going to film it. So I'm uncertain right now what I'm going to do. Yeah, there we go. Hot take, Alpha Strike isn't too bad once you've modded something. That is a hot take. Alpha Strike's really bad. Like, I don't see the reason for doing any Alpha Strike stuff when X-Shot existed. Like, there's really just no reason. If you like it, that's fine. But I wouldn't recommend Alpha Strike to pretty much anyone. I like the Hammer Storm, and I like the Flight. That is a volcanic take. Walcom Gaming Channel. There are so many gaming channels, there's absolutely no reason for me to start one. Been finally playing through Yakuza Like a Dragon. And I'm rather enjoying it so far. I'm only on, like, Chapter 4. Been playing X Defiant. Game's got problems, but it's still pretty fun. Okay. Man, this cable routing is the worst part about this blaster, I'm telling you. Alright. Alright. Have a good night, bots. Thanks for joining us. Well, that was definitely the wrong pin, because that one sticks out too far. Ugh. Now I don't know if I can get this pin back out. It was hard to get in there. Ugh. What's that piece by your keyboard? This? That's the old flywheel cage. What power is a Ryobi battery pack? It is 18 volt. So, very hot. That hurt. Oh, yeah, that really hurt. I don't even know where that pin went. It's probably this one on the floor right here. Oof. And that was not good. It got me a little bit. Probably the pin that goes through here. There we go. I once built a homemade NERF blaster with nothing but cardboard syringes and pipes. I can see that happening. As an engineer, what you just did there hurt me. Look, I don't claim to be intelligent, right? I don't think I've ever said I'm smart or anything like that. I do what has to be done and nothing more. Alright. Can we finally get a foam dart? Good amount of wind. It's so weak. I don't get it, man. $72. $64. $77. That is so much wind. You can use this thing like a fan. But yeah, the power is so weak. I'm gonna sit on this one. Looks cool with the Kodamag, though. Yeah, I have a mic cut off. Man, I really wish I knew what the heck was going on. It's like I fire the blaster and I don't even feel the dart. It just kind of shoots out. It's a little bit better than it was, I think. I was still expecting like 110. I mean, I can technically use a video on it now, but it's super weak. Try to chronograph it. I just did. I literally just did. Got the battery pack. I think there is a LiPo setup for it, but the whole purpose is that it works with the LiPo, or with the Ryobi pack. Like, that's kind of the coolest part about this blaster. I mean, it technically works right now. Maybe the contact between the motor and the dart's not that strong? Well, I was using Daybreaks before and it was worse. So... I'm uncertain. Yeah, Solon, you sent me the printables, but somebody said it was on Etsy. Check the wheel rotation. No, I already did that. It seems fine. Man, it is kicking out so much wind. Check this out. How nuts is that? How nuts is that for, like... How does that not fling a foam dart harder? I think it's blowing the dart out more than it's actually... Could it be an issue with the pusher, maybe? I wonder. Or it could be this barrel. I didn't think about that. Ooh, I didn't think about that at all. I actually didn't consider that a problem. It makes a better fan than a blaster right now. Flywheel's not level with the barrel. That could also be it. I think I did a pretty good job. I mean, it looked fine to me. Yeah, I tested them before I put them in. Man, I think it's just perfect. I don't... You guys can see, it's like, it's not very strong. Even without the muzzle. I just hit my monitor. Good thing it's so weak. Ooh. Pusher got caught there. Yeah, it's 71 FPS is what it's telling me. Not that you can read it because of the ND filter on the camera. I mean, that's usable. Do it like at range. Wow, I stopped revving and I fired like 5 or 6 darts after that, I swear they hit harder. It actually hits harder after I stop revving. That is wild. Barely use. I don't know about that. It's certainly fun. I really did wish it hit harder. Do you guys think it looks better with the Coda or with the mag and the thumbnail? I'm trying to figure out where I put it. I like the Coda. I think it looks more toolish with the Coda. Maybe increase the voltage? It's already at 20 volts or 18 volts. What's a Tachi look like in it? I don't know. I don't know where my Tachis are. I can't find them. Do you have a buck converter to step it down? Yes. Yes, I do. Do I really want to waste my time doing that? Because I definitely do. That's a lot of work, though. And also, I think the biggest problem is going to be where the hell am I going to fit that buck converter? There's not a whole lot of space in here. Man, I think that looks sick, though. I really do. Like, compare it to a staple, a Ryobi staple. Like, I think that's sick as heck. I don't know why this just works so good, but it really does. Ooh, man, there's a cut somewhere on that finger. It is very much not happy. Well, yeah, this is just I don't think I have anything that big. Except for like a circular saw, but... Yeah, especially at a distance, at a glance, you can't tell. If I didn't have these side by side, you would just... It looks like Ryobi. There's a little bit more yellow in the official, or a little bit more red, I guess, is what I would say. What color is the filament? It's like grass green or something like that. But it certainly looks pretty. And then this is just a dark gray I found from some not normal company I order from. And it was a pretty expensive roll comparison. But I needed this exact kind of dark gray, and I think it matched, like, again, about as perfect as you can get. I honestly want to print all my blasters out like this. I think this worked really good. I'm not like a huge Ryobi fan or anything. I don't know. The color scheme really does work. I didn't have the right screws for the thing on the bottom. I almost want to sand them off. Because I need like flatheads or, you know, chamfered ones. So I can't like fit the battery in perfectly. I could Dremel it down a little bit to make it fit better. But it's super cool. This just looks like something you'd have on your belt or something, but yeah, it is a stock. I mean, it works if you want to use it. The biggest issue is that you can't really put an optic on this rail. Oh, that and there's no hole for the screw in the back rail, so you just have to kind of like match it up and cinch it down. Like it's missing a screw hole. Very much a really quick design, it feels. I almost need to glue it. It's not like the rail ever has to come back off. I mean, it's super fun. I just wish it was a little bit stronger. I mean, we could use a buck converter, but the problem is I don't know where I would put it. There's not a lot of room in here. There was no staple on what wheels to use. I think the wheels are pretty... Like, I basically barrel-sided them, and they look really good. They look perfect. I honestly don't think I could do a better job than that. How big is the converter? It's not... I have two of them. I have one that's freaking huge, but I have some that are smaller. Let's see here. I mean, these ones are pretty small. Can this handle up to 18 volts? I honestly don't even know. I mean, that's the small one. The other one's like 8 times the size. Yeah, it's a real Ryobi battery. That's why I want to keep it like this instead of like building a battery box. It does have like it's supposed to have bungee on it that will make it snap and hold into place better. I don't think you need it, to be honest. Add a resistor. Well, that's what a buck converter will do. I can turn the 18 volts down to like 11. But I don't know if this will actually take 18 volts without exploding. What are those screen targets using firing demos? Those are gunpowder SMTs. Can I fit this anywhere? I'm kind of tired of taking this thing apart now, not gonna lie. Let's see here. At least most of it is like not screws, it's wooden pins. We kind of did. I mean, it was just like boxes in the background of the video, right? I wish I had something. Get these pins out. Ugh. How unusable is the stock vessel looks? It doesn't need to be stable. There's no freaking recoil. I mean, in my opinion, it works fine. Like, it's fine, in my opinion. It might be a little bendy left and right. But again, there's no recoil. So unless you're really choking up on this thing... But you just got to use it like every video game in the 90s did, and just have it folded. Oh my gosh, it doesn't want to come out. I found my mallet. Dance me, mallet! Stupid dog! Amazing how easy something is when you have the right tool. You make me look bad! Kind of hard to swing a hammer when it has a bunch of motors stuck to it. Okay. Take off that. Oh, man. I don't think there's anywhere I could really fit the buck converter. Is there room in the grip? I don't think there is. I wonder if the airsoft stock wouldn't... I have no idea. Hey, Round Bear. You know, right there on top of the switch. No, maybe? Yes. That will technically work. Basically right there. I'd have to really try with this. Is that blue wire going to get in the way if it's on the side like that? What darts are you using in the mag? I was just using max starts. I'll just assume. Dude, if this wire would just somewhat cooperate. There we go. Let's do another dry fit. Well, that looks fine to me. It's going to take a whole lot of work, though. Man. My man wants to don't... What? What are you... Kale Early. Should I donate 500? I would definitely not. That seems very financially irresponsible. Very financially irresponsible. But if you were, I would not use a super chat. I would use the Walcom S7 link. WalcomS7.com. Because if you do a $500 super chat, YouTube takes 30% of that. So, yeah. But again, seems incredibly financially irresponsible. Is that a drill? It is a blaster. I like how many people can't tell it's a blaster. It actually did, it's kind of flattering, because clearly I did a good enough okay job. What 3D printing filament does it use? Just standard PLA. You are like the 90th person to say that, Round Bear. Okay. I'm just wondering, do you have a wife? Yes, she was here a minute ago. She went out to a Father's Day dinner with her dad. It's just a jolt that looks like a scorpion. Right now, kinda, sorta. What was I doing? I was doing a thing. Is it automatic? No, this is semi-auto. I don't know why I unhooked the screws. That's not actually helping me in any way. Oh, because it held it in there like that. Okay, that makes more sense. Well, what would you recommend a good tick to set your solder to? I use 300, but for a lot of stuff, you might want to go higher. Positive was green because I'm out of red. Oh, well, thank you very much, Maxwell's. Do you listen to ant metal music? I don't think so. My taste in music is garbage, I'm not gonna lie. Right. Okay, and negative was the blue. Santoriu! 3 soldering iron style. Before we solder those, where is that multimeter? Right here. Well. Oh, I have to solder these together first. The biggest issue with this is going to be the length of wire. I can't have too much. There's not really any room to tuck it. Never mind. There's some room. Screw it. In a couple of minutes here, the stream might stop for a second. It's just some bug. Not sure how to fix it. So if the stream does start like just going dead on you, give it a little bit. It'll come back. Or don't. I'm not your dad, but you should tell him Happy Father's Day. Oh, did it? Again, we might be able to fix that, Shipkunky. we might be able to fix it. I'm not really promising a whole lot here. What I am saying is I'm going to make an effort. More of an effort than I wanted to be honest. And if this doesn't work, well, that sucks. I'm pretty sure that's positive, yeah. Nice of them to label their batteries as so. They technically don't have to do that. They could be just absolute dicks about it. I must admit that Walcom has a lot of good quality equipment. I have no idea what you're talking about. This is like not the most expensive multimeter. I mean, it's a pretty decent soldering iron. These are cheap as free. You are so nice. Oh, and then General Stripe says, oh, why did I read that as Borat? Did you get it firing at all? Yes, Gavin, I did get it firing. It fired like crap, so we're trying a buck converter. I'll buck your converter. Oh, buck your converter. Cool. Not only did that wire just come off, but that's okay. When it comes to disappointment, I never disappoint. Yeah, that's going to be an issue. I can't fit this through there, so I'm just going to have to cold solder it to the freaking side of the terminal. Ooh. Hopefully I didn't just screw myself there. Melted the plastic a little bit. I have other power connectors I could use, I guess, if I really wanted to. So I'm soldering in this buck converter, then I'm going to slam the battery in, and I could use a multimeter to read the voltage coming out of the buck converter. And doing that, I can adjust it with the screw that's on the buck converter, and I can lower it or increase it, whatever I have to do. And using that, we can get it from the 18 volts or whatever down to 12, and that'll be much easier for us to deal with. And that should hopefully increase the performance to what I expect. Ah, that one burnt the fingers a little bit. Okay, we should be good. Now, hopefully this doesn't pop and catch fire when I plug it in. So we could take our thing right here. Put our leads. Can't really put them through there. So we're just going to have to deal with that for right now. First step is, does this thing just pop and explode when I plug the battery in? Yep! Yes, it did. So, this cannot handle this buck converter. That resistor immediately exploded. Which makes sense. It's a really small buck converter. Oh, well. Why are people... People are so demanding. Where is the video for the siren blink? Philion, I have to wait for them to send me new darts. That is what I heard Monday? I mean, I would have liked to have put up the video a while ago, but I can't. So, if they want to wait, I mean, we have to wait. So the question now is, was it Valkyries or was it Michelle 2.0s? It had to be Valkyries. Michelle 2.0s are 2S, right? This is... I now don't think I can remove that. So I just have to try to make this solder job work. That's unfortunate. Quite honestly, I don't know what to do from here. Meeker says Valks or Rhinos, and I'm using Valks, and I'm still not getting very good performance. Again, I wasn't looking for super great performance, but I was looking for better than 70 FPS. There's no way I can fit that bigger buck converter in there, even if it could handle the voltage. So we're just going to have to deal. It's unfortunate, but that's the best I can do right now. Are you dyslexic? I don't know. I've never been diagnosed with anything. Yeah, I saw that, Mimista. Yeah, that's a shame. I don't really have a solution to this, unfortunately. The only other thing I could do is make a battery box. Or gut one of the batteries and put a lipo in it. Unless somebody can come up with a 5S motor. Oh, cool. I left my flashlight on. How do I have less screws? Could it use a 12-volt Ryobi battery? I didn't know those were a thing, to be honest. None of the batteries I have are anything other than 18-volt. I mean, if they're this form factor, but 12-volt, yeah, I certainly could. Huh. I somehow lost screws. I'm uncertain how. Yeah, there are local events. I don't really go to them, but there are some. Mostly, I just like the blasters and like plinking. Nothing wrong with that. Thank you, Stick Notes. I'm like trying to screw that in. Like, why is it not moving? And then I realize it's too small of a driver. But the head looks shorter, the neck thing. Yeah, I would doubt they would let that work with their existing stuff. Now, they do 40-volt stuff now, Brandon. What state do I live in? Washington. Do I like it here? I do. I really do love Washington, but it's really been messing with my breathing the last couple of years. When I was in Boise for a couple of years, that was way better on my breathing. And the second I moved back to Washington, I started having all sorts of health problems again. Yeah, I guess it's just not going to be a powerful blaster. It still technically works. I mean, I could still do the video on it. It's like, oh, the performance isn't quite there, but again, who cares? It is a functional Ryobi blaster. I mean, this is not a new concept. This has been done lots of times before. DeWalt, I think I've seen Milwaukee, or I definitely have seen Milwaukee. This is all stuff that people have already done. Mostly it's paint jobs and stuff like that, and people have gotten blasters to work off power tool batteries before. In this specific circumstance, there's just not a whole lot of room for me to try to fix the problem. Will we ever be in an episode of Get Off My Lawn or Foam Zone? I was on one a while ago. Oh, dude, these pins are just really difficult to deal with. It is cool they exist, so I don't have to worry about doing a bunch of screws. $80-volt? Oh, man. Well, they have things that take multiple batteries. I didn't know they stacked the voltage, though. That doesn't seem reasonable. I think they were in series just for enough power. Could be wrong, though. Those lawnmowers and stuff. S2000 Viper or Fire Rat? I think the Viper is the better blaster. I don't exactly know off the top of my head because I don't think I've ever had the Viper. but I do believe the Viper is the higher performing one. Tag would know. I do think there's something fun about the fact that to optimally use this blaster, it seems like what you want to do is rev it up, then let go of the rev, and then fire all of your shots. Kind of like something from Splatoon. Okay, let's switch to the main camera. And... oh, what? My trigger got stuck. I mean, it works. It's not great, but it works. It looks the part, and it plays the part. You could argue, but yeah. Until I have a proper solution for this, I don't think there is a proper solution, to be perfectly honest, but I think that's okay. It's definitely more of a fun thing. Is it heavy? Yeah, but the balance isn't that bad. And I don't think too many people have made these other than me. So there could be something that could be figured out with it. I've tried Krakens with Daybreaks, and I think I have Bulldogs with Valkyries. And yeah. Sure is comfy. I like the hand stop on it. Stock is okay. Like, it's definitely flimsy, but there's no recoil, so honestly, it's just more of a cool factor thing than anything. Problem with this mag is that I can't stand it. It's just too long. I think that one looks more CC Scorpion. What do you think, chat? Now that I have the filament and everything, I kind of just want to print more blasters out like this. How hard would a Ryobi SBF go? You like this curved mag a little bit better? I think I do too, just because I can actually just set it somewhere like that. And, you know, it plays the part. I like the Coda mag because it looks more toolish. But, yeah. I'm pretty happy with it. It's not perfect. I don't know if Meeker will update the files. He printed one out in just solid white filament, and that's the last I heard about it, but the wire you use on your Ryobi in this 18 gauge, I think your motors are basically stalling when the darts hit them because the wire's preventing you from actually getting enough power to the motors. Could be. I think it is 18 gauge. I usually use 16 or 14 gauge. I just don't have any right now. There's just too much voltage. But I also think people are right that it's slipping. The darts are slipping more than being grabbed. Yeah, you can change forms. What's a bucket? I'm just gonna call you Bucket. Your name's too long and hard to say in conversation. I wonder if other people that have used these types of batteries ever used buck converters to lower the voltage. It just goes so hard. I love it. I honestly, like, this is art, Mr. White. because it just feels, it looks the part, it plays the part. I just wish it was a little bit stronger. I think it's pretty nice, except for it seems to get stuck on something. Ooh, it can't freely drop the curved mag, though. Do you have a Moab? And what motor does that use? I do have a Moab, and a Moab uses 6S LiPos, so technically, yeah, it could. But I'm pretty sure there's some other factor that would prevent it from accurately working with tool motors. Yeah, I'm happy. It's better than it was, that's for sure. Before, it would barely fire. And I have so many darts to pick up. Yeah, that door was a little too far back. That might have been the issue. What is causing that now? I might have... I don't know. Pusher might be a little too thick. I think I can push the mag too far up. It's definitely a cool display piece. I'll probably just do the video and just show it off because it's cool. But yeah, it's definitely not performing. And there are some things. I didn't have the right screws in places. So there's a gap in the back right here I'm not a fan of. I'm very happy with how it looks, though. It's like one of my favorite designs, I think, that's ever been done. It really makes me want to do more themed like this. Now that I have a good idea of what filaments and stuff to use. Do I like reviewing gel blasters? Not particularly. I don't know if the people like them as much. But, I do have that Stratus Pro I'm going to do a video on before I gut it. All the gel blasters are pretty much the same, though. That's the problem with gel blasters. They're all full auto, high capacity. They all fire about the same. Stratus Pro is a lot smaller than I thought it would be, though. I haven't taken it out of the box yet, but the box is tiny. Like the Airstrike Brad Nailer. One of these? I always wondered if these would fire a dart pretty good. It's literally just a big AEB, pretty much. Semi-auto AEB. You'd have to just try to make a breach for it. I think that would be the biggest problem. This also has a gray trigger. Does this thing have a full auto mode? There's a thing for one brad nail, and then there's a thing with 3 brad nail. I don't know what that's about. Ugh. Have I seen the MP7 AEB? I don't think so. Maybe I have. I've always wanted to try to see one of those things turned into a blaster, because I think it has the firepower. The issue is a breach. Imagine a full auto nail gun. I'm trying to figure out why that thing has the That's a bump fire mode. Hold the trigger. Ah, okay. That makes sense. So yeah, when you press it down and disengage that lock, it'll just shoot a nail. That way you can just go tap, 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 tap. That makes sense. Tells you how much I've actually used it. I've used it a little bit, but never even noticed that. Slam fire. Alrighty. Well, unfortunately, I didn't solve as much as I wanted to solve in this stream, but we got somewhere. Rambo mode. I'm gonna go make some grilled cheese or something. I'm pretty hungry. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining me, though. I hope it was somewhat interesting. The 100 people that we had pretty much all stream, I really appreciate that. It's been fun. I don't know. I should be able to get back to videos here soon. We should see something Monday. I just need to get back in the groove of things. I do have some fun stuff coming up. Blinks have a mag release, right? Yeah. Mag release is right here in front of the trigger, but that makes it also really easy to just free drop your mag. Like, it works really, really good. Like, really good. You can just... Yeah. Works stupidly well. Hopefully they let us do the videos on these soon, because they are fun. I really want people to see how this performs. Hope you can get that Ryobi in to working properly. I mean, it kind of works. You're a mag release? No, you're a mag release. Take that back, Supa. I'll definitely check it out here in a second, Avin. Alrighty, everyone. You have a good night. Thank you very much for joining me. We do this live streams every Saturday night starting at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, so I should see you next weekend unless something goes catastrophically wrong. You guys all have a fantastic night. Thank you very much for joining me.